This is AI News Today, and here's what happened in the world of AI in the last 7 days. We're starting with what might be the most surreal sporting event of the year. Beijing just hosted the world's first AI-powered robot soccer tournament, and it was exactly as entertaining as it sounds. Picture this: teams of 3 humanoid robots wobbling around a field, occasionally managing to kick a ball, and yes, sometimes needing to be carried off on stretchers after spectacular collisions. University students trained these robot players to navigate, track the ball, and score goals, though let's just say the highlight reel was more about the tumbles than the dazzling footwork. It's a far cry from human soccer, but it's a fascinating glimpse into how AI is learning to navigate the physical world. Speaking of the physical world, Amazon just hit a massive milestone that should make us all think about the future of work. The company has deployed its 1 millionth robot across its warehouses, meaning robots now nearly match the number of human workers in Amazon facilities. But here's the kicker. About 75% of all Amazon deliveries now rely on robots in some capacity. The company also unveiled a new AI foundation model that's boosting their robot fleet's efficiency by 10%. This isn't just about faster deliveries, it's a preview of how automation is reshaping entire industries. Meanwhile, a stealthy startup called Genesis AI just raised $105 million with a bold mission, bringing human-level intelligence to the physical world. With backing from tech heavyweight Eric Schmidt and venture giant Kozla Ventures, they're building what they call a universal robotics model. Here's why this matters. While physical labor accounts for somewhere between $30 to $40 trillion of global GDP, robots currently help automate only about 5% of that work. Genesis AI wants to close that gap by creating an open-source model that works with virtually any robot, using a unique combination of synthetic and real-world data. Now, let's shift to some breakthrough medical AI news. Microsoft claims they've developed an AI system that can diagnose complex medical conditions with 300% better accuracy than human doctors. In a test using 304 extremely challenging cases from the New England Journal of Medicine, their AI system correctly diagnosed patients about 80% of the time compared to just 20% for human doctors. What makes this particularly impressive is that the AI couldn't rely on multiple choice answers or memorization. It had to reason through each case like a real doctor would. The system works by first making educated guesses about a patient's condition, then having a separate AI agent search for additional tests or information to narrow down the possibilities. On the business side, there's a fascinating talent war brewing in AI. Meta just announced the formation of something called Meta Superintelligence Labs, bringing in former CEOs from Scale AI and GitHub to lead the charge. But the real story is the aggressive hiring spree that's reshaping the entire industry. Meta has reportedly offered $300 million 4-year packages to at least 3 top researchers, and they just poached 4 more key people from OpenAI. The competition is so intense that OpenAI had to recalibrate compensation for existing employees just to keep them from jumping ship. One OpenAI executive said it feels like someone has broken into our home and stolen something. In the world of AI tools, we're seeing some major developments. Baidu, the Chinese tech giant, just unveiled MuseStreamer, a video model that can generate 10-second clips with perfectly synchronized visuals, sound effects, and spoken dialogue. This is their answer to OpenAI's Sora and Google's Veo. But perhaps even more significant, Baidu open-sourced their powerful Ernie language model, a move that some experts are calling as big as DeepSeek's game-changing release earlier this year. Replit, the popular coding platform, just gave their AI agent a major upgrade they're calling Dynamic Intelligence. The tool can now search the web, analyze large code bases, and think for longer periods, leading to a 10 to 15% performance boost for complex tasks. The key improvement is that apps built with Replit are much more likely to just work right out of the gate. No coding experience required. Here's a story that might make you question how predictable you really are. Researchers just built an AI model called Centaur that can predict human behavior more accurately than even our best psychological theories. They trained it on 160 psychological studies involving more than 10 million human choices, and the results were startling. In 31 out of 32 tasks, it correctly predicted how people would respond to various scenarios, even in situations it had never been trained on. As one Stanford neuroscientist put it, there's a lot of structure in human behavior, suggesting we might not be as unpredictable as we think. In the consumer space, we're seeing AI get more creative and accessible. A new platform called Higgsfield just opened up free daily access to their Soul image model, which is generating buzz for its ultra-realistic photos that look like they came straight from a high-end fashion shoot. The detail and variety of filters is impressive, whether you want 90s film grain, a Y2K poster aesthetic, or an iPhone selfie look. And speaking of accessibility, there's fascinating speculation about OpenAI's mysterious first hardware device. Bloomberg thinks they've cracked the code through process of elimination. Court filings reveal it won't be wearable and won't have a screen. Their theory? It's an AI-powered pen. This actually makes sense when you consider the former Apple design chief Jony Ive is involved in the project, and he's known to be a pen enthusiast who even helped design the Apple Pencil. Finally, let's talk about some of the quirkier developments. In Austin, Texas, residents are scratching their heads at a 4-foot robot wearing a cowboy hat and chain, running through the streets and complimenting people with Gen Z slang. The robot calls itself Jake the Rizzbot and tells curious onlookers things like, "You got that clean drip locked down." Local news outlets are still trying to figure out who's operating Jake behind the scenes, but he's certainly bringing some personality to the world of robotics. That's it for today. Make sure to like, subscribe, or follow, and see you tomorrow for more AI news.